Hello all, welcome to Brilliant Coaching Classes. I am Nilima Patil. In this video, you will revise about indices and laws of indices which you have studied in earlier standards. First see, if I write 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. Now this is a product form. This can be written as 3 raised to the power. Now I wrote here 5 times 3. So 3 raised to the power 5. So this is called a product form and this is index form, where 3 is a base. So this is a base and this 5 is index. So 3 is base and 5 is index, and this is called index form of this product form. Now how it is read? You can read it like 3 raised to the power 5, or only you can say 3 raised to 5. Now we'll write 5 into 5 into 5. Now I wrote this 3 times. So I can write 5 and at index place it is 3 because 3 times 5 we wrote. So that will be here. Now how to read this? Whenever 3 is there as index, we read it as 5 cube. And if 2 is there at index place, so if 7 into 7, then 7 here and 2 will be as index. So we read it as 7 square or square of 7. If it is 4 into 4 into 4 into 4, 4 times 4, then it will be 4 raised to 4. So it is 4 times 4, therefore base is 4 and index is also 4. Now we'll see laws of indices. Laws of indices. Eight laws are there which you have studied in the earlier standards. So first law, a raised to m multiplied by a raised to n is equal to a raised to m plus n. So if product of the indices is given and the base is same, then we can add the index. We'll take one example. 5 cube multiplied by 5 raised to 4. Now here base is same, so we'll add the index numbers. So it is 5 raised to 3 plus 4. So it will be 5 raised to 7. So here we used this law. A raised to m into a raised to n is equal to a raised to m plus n. Next, second law is a raised to m divided by a raised to n. Now when there is a division of these indices and base is same, then we subtract the index numbers. So a raised to m minus n. Now here we will take example 7 raised to 5 divided by 7 raised to 3, that is 7 cube. So 7 raised to 5 divided by 7 cube is equal to 7 raised to 5 minus 3, and answer will be 7 square. So whenever there is a division of the indices, we subtract their index, and when it is a multiplication, then we add the index numbers, but the base should be same. Next, it is a raised to m raised to n. Here this will be equal to a raised to m n. So here index to index, when a raised to m raised to n, then we multiply these to m and n. So this is the third law. We'll take one example. If it is 6 square raised to 4, then we can write 6 raised to 2 into 4. So it will be 6 raised to 8. So this is a raised to m raised to n is equal to a raised to mn. Next, fourth law. A into b raised to m. Now here we separate these bases, and with each base we write this index m. So a raised to m into b raised to m. So this is the next law. A into b bracket raised to m, this is equal to a raised to m into b raised to m. So if it is 3 into 5 raised to 7, then we can write 3 raised to 7 into 5 raised to 7. Next law, fifth one, a raised to 0 is equal to 1. So whatever the base, but if the index is 0, then the answer will be 1. So it can be 12 raised to 0, the answer is 1. Or if it is 256 raised to 0, even then the answer is 1. So this is the law, a raised to 0 is equal to 1. Next, sixth law. A upon b raised to m. So it is a by b raised to m. Then we can write a raised to m by b raised to m. So this index will be written separately with a and b. Numerator a and b, and a raised to m, b raised to m. We'll take one example. So 5 upon 7 or 5 by 7 raised to 4. Then we can write 5 raised to 4 by 7 raised to 4. So this 4 index is written separately with 5 and 7 in the numerator as well as denominator. So this is the law. A by b bracket raised to m is equal to a raised to m by b raised to m. Next, seventh law is when the index is negative. Say a raised to minus m, then we can write it like this: 1 by a raised to m. So this negative m, this minus m will become positive m. So when a raised to minus m, we can write 1 by a raised to m. So we'll take one example. If it is 5 raised to minus 6, then we can write 1 by 5 raised to 6. So this negative index will become positive. And next, eighth law is, when it is a by b raised to negative index, then we can write b by a. So we took reciprocal of this and raised to m. So when we write this a by b as b by a, then this negative index will become positive. So after writing it as a reciprocal, negative index will turn into positive index. We'll take one example like 7 by 8 raised to minus 5. Now we can write 8 by 7, so reciprocal of this, raised to positive 5. So this negative 5 will become positive 5 when we write reciprocal of this. So this is about indices and laws of indices. Next, using laws of indices, write proper numbers in the following boxes. So already you know all the laws of indices. First, 3 raised to 5 into 3 square is equal to 3 raised to box is given. Now see here, the base is same and product of these two indices is given. Multiplication of these two indices is given. Base is same. So we add the index. So here we are using the law a raised to m into a raised to n is equal to a raised to m plus n. So 5 plus 2. We'll write here the answer 7. 5 plus 2, 7. Second, 3 raised to 7 divided by 3 raised to 9 is equal to 3 raised to box. So here we are using the law a raised to m divided by a raised to n is equal to a raised to m minus n. So 7 minus 9. So 7 minus 9 is minus 2. So write here minus 2. Next, third, 3 raised to 4 raised to 5. So here we'll use the law a raised to m raised to n is equal to a raised to m n, that is m into n. So 4 into 5, 4 5s are 20 and here we'll write 20. So 3 raised to 4 raised to 5 is equal to 3 raised to 20. So here we multiplied this 4 and 5. Fourth, 5 raised to minus 3, this will be equal to 1 by 5 raised to 3. The law used is a raised to minus m is equal to 1 by a raised to m. Next, 5 raised to 0, that is a raised to 0 is equal to 1. So whenever the index is 0 for any base, the answer is always 0. So a raised to 0 is equal to 1. Next, 5 raised to 1 is 5 only. So it is like this, a raised to 1 is always a, but a raised to 0 is 1. So don't get confused in this. A raised to 1 is a, but a raised to 0 is 1. Next, 7th, 5 into 7 bracket square. So here we'll use the law a into b raised to m. So it will be a raised to m and b raised to m. So we'll separate that index with the bases, separate bases. So 5 square, here 2 is there. So we'll write 5 square into 7 square. Next, 5 by 7 bracket cube. So here again we'll separate numerator denominator and this index will go with numerator and denominator separately. So it is 5 cube by 7 cube. So we used the law a by b bracket raised to m is equal to a raised to m by b raised to m. Next, 5 by 7 raised to 2, that is bracket complete, raised to minus 3. So here we'll write the reciprocal of this, that is 5 upon 7's reciprocal 7 by 5, and then this negative index will become positive. So 7 by 5 will come here. So here we used the law a by b bracket raised to minus m is equal to b by a bracket raised to m. So this negative sign will get removed. Which law we used? We used a by b raised to minus m is equal to b by a raised to m. So when we write reciprocal of the base, the negative index will become positive index. So here we completed the introduction of indices. Thank you.